In the previous session, we discussed about fear, an extreme emotion that can become a powerful tool in your marketing arsenal. In this session, we will discuss another example of a more subtle feeling, the feeling of reciprocity. So, what happens when we are being offered purple cows in some shape or form? Well, if this is something valuable to us, then we feel an unconscious need and urge to reciprocate. The words need and urge are particularly important in emphasizing the strength of reciprocity, rather than just a simple feeling of polite appreciation. Psychologist Robert Cialdini, in his classic book on influence and persuasion, shows that when someone grants us a favor, the unconscious pressure to reciprocate is so strong that we often end up into granting much larger favors in return. Unless a psychopath, people react this way because they need to re-establish a psychological balance and to remove the pressure of being in debt. An interesting experiment by Dennis Regan, presented by psychologist Richard Wiseman, makes a great example in how reciprocity works. A bunch of volunteers visited a gallery on their own, presumably to rate various paintings. While at the gallery, they met another person, who, without their knowledge, was part of the research team. During their visits, the fake visitor pretended that he suddenly got thirsty and offered to bring back a free Coke to the unaware participant. Basically, shall I bring you a Coke as well, as I'm going there and is provided for free by the gallery anyway? When the tour ended, the fake visitor offered the participant a chance to buy raffle tickets. So, what do you think happened? Well, the small favor of bringing back the Coke generated twice as many sales of raffle tickets when compared with the control group of participants who were not offered the drink. Just think about it. By offering a free Coke, sales doubled. Another interesting principle described by Cialdini is this. If people seem to make concession to us, we feel the urge to reciprocate by making a concession in return. Basically, the idea is that if you agree to do something as part of the negotiation process, I will also agree to do something in return. To test the strength of this principle, Cialdini devised an experiment with the goal of getting as many college students to accompany groups of young juveniles to the zoo as volunteers. He initially asked the students for a large favor, which was spending 2 hours a week as a counselor at a juvenile center for a minimum of 2 years. When this request was refused, as expected, he made a smaller request, pitching the actual product he was trying to sell, which was the zoo trip. Now, given his perceived concession, 3 times as many students made the concession in return and agreed to volunteer for the zoo trip. Basically, Cialdini hit the audience with a large unreasonable request which he knew would be rejected. When this happened, he then hit them with the actual product he wanted to sell, the zoo trip. In this case, the contrast principle was also employed, as the zoo trip was perceived as 3 times more acceptable than the larger request. Cialdini referred to the concession principle as the door-in-the-face technique. If you think about it, how many times do you see a price on a product or service that is too high? Try to leave the website, but you are stopped by an exit pop-up offering a one-time offer or discount. Now, consider a situation in which your audience perceives your product as being too expensive. As they try to leave your page, an exit pop-up appears offering a concession. It could be a discount, a different package, a similar but lower priced product, and so on. Because if you are now perceived as making a concession, your audience is more likely to make a concession in return. In other words, you are more likely to sell your product at the price you really want. Okay, so to recap. 1. Reciprocity works by offering something of value to your audience. The principle works on us when we receive a gift with value. 2. Now, without being aware, a feeling of stress begins to form. We must reciprocate the gift. And how do we respond? Well, one option is to sign up to the email database of the marketer, providing him or her with our details. This is also confirmed by the Oxford Handbook of Internet Psychology, which explains that people are happy to share personal information if they perceive the benefits to be worth it. So yes, the importance of your purple cow offer or product is being emphasized yet again. However, in my experience, things are never that easy. On reflection, I often passed on offers to sign up even when the offers were compelling. Sometimes my decision was a matter of not having the time, yet sometimes egotism clearly played a part too. What do I mean by egotism? Well, we make decisions that are consistent with the kind of person we are or aim to be, which is a principle referred to as self-affirmation. In my case, I felt too smart to get trapped into offering my details, and in an almost automatic manner, I was looking to reaffirm the type of person I felt I was. But how do we go about rejecting something that is of value to us? Well, we begin by devaluing the offer. In my case, I thought, yet another SEO article with a great title from a guy that has no clue. Or, they give it for free, so it can't be that great. And so on. But when the offer was highly compelling and I could really not refuse it, I would think, okay, I'll sign up as I have no choice, but I will unsubscribe when the newsletter comes. Just think about it. Have you ever been in this situation? And if you signed up, did you read the autoresponder emails that follow from all the companies that got you in their databases? I would be very surprised if you did. In fact, research by MailChimp shows that only 34% of autoresponder emails sent by online marketers are being opened. Moreover, Graham Jones, in his book Recology, shows that email automation was found to also create negative perceptions of the brand. Hence, if your pop-up tool is to help meet your goals, a great offer is essential but insufficient on its own. Of course, you want people to sign up because they want to, not because they feel forced to, and the transactional mindset is more often than not insufficient. In brief, you may also want to audit your forms, the number of fields, the required fields, make it as easy as possible for people to get your lead magnet and give them the option of signing up or not to your newsletter. Another super interesting and unexpected branch of reciprocity is being referred to as the Franklin effect. It is a strange behavior noticed by politician Benjamin Franklin long time ago. Basically, you can increase the chance of someone liking you simply by asking them to do you a favor. Just to make it clear, as opposed to inducing reciprocity by doing someone a favor, you are inducing it by actually asking that person to do you a favor. Apparently, Franklin needed support from a difficult member of the Pennsylvania State Council, but rather than offering a favor himself, Franklin simply asked his target to do him a favor. Specifically, he asked his opponent to lend him a rare and unusual book from the target's private library. The person complied, and on Franklin's following visits, he demonstrated an unusual willingness to help him on various issues. So just remember, next time you are looking to influence your audience into taking an action, whether share, like, follow, email or other, you may want to start by first asking for a favor. This will increase their willingness to help on your next request. Or you could simply try to trigger reciprocity by granting your audience a favor. Finally, you might as well try to employ the principle of contrast. Hit them with a large offer before making your actual pitch with a more reasonable offer. We often A/B split these approaches in our client accounts. And with this, we have reached the end of the session. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.